Good morning, everyone. This is the video that I promised you guys on the AAC app lamp. It's the second part of the video. I just haven't really had time to get my head around the whole concept of how lamp works, and it is a very new app that it's been added. Well, it is in New Zealand. I'm not sure about the rest of the world, but what I have found, like I said, I want to just make sure everybody understands that the reviews I'm giving on Touch Chat and Prologue to Go and Lamp, it's reviews that is based on Matthew, my autistic son's experience with it, and he's only 7 years old. I am sure that there is a lot of apps out there and for different age groups, and every child is an individual. I want you to understand I'm not putting anybody's app down. I acknowledge that every child has a different ability and has a different preference because they are individuals. I met a student, a high school student, in last week. I met with her mum. She is in Matthew's special needs school, but her and she is in like I said, in high school. She is using a app called, I'm pretty sure it's not the Words for Life. It is, she mentioned the name to me, and if I had to remember it now, I'll be wrong. But the point being is she's completely non-verbal, and she can use very seldom she will use single words like hello. She's very friendly, very bright, not at all inferior to verbal kids. I always say they all communicate in their own way, but she has tried all these apps as well, and it did not work for her. She has found an app. It's something Microsoft. I'm not 100% sure, but as her mum explained to me, you have to trial these apps for quite some time, and I have been able to trial the apps like 2 weeks at a time, which is not enough time to my knowledge, but it is what the school have given me. And based on Prologue to Go, Touch Chat and Lamp, I'll be able to, I have to write a review on each and write a report for Matthew about the time that he was in training, about the training that I underwent and how I found it. But now I want to show you, I'll be honest with you, I have been trying to do Lamp with Matthew, but there seems to be I'm not sure, it's there's just no interest in it, to be honest. It was like Prologue to Go. He was connected, he was invested in it, he definitely was interested. I approached every app with the same enthusiasm to give it a fair chance, but this is what I think. I'll even show you how I've learned to add new words. So the difference between, I would say, Lamp and Prologue to Go and Touch Chat, the menu looks in Touch Chat and Prologue to Go looks a little bit similar, but it is definitely easier to navigate Prologue to Go. This app is definitely, like you can see, it's visually based. It's called Lamp. Now, I think why it confuses Matthew, you've got to, like with this app, from what the little bit that I've learned is that you've got to keep on going back to the last word. Like even if you want to say something, say it doesn't say anything, it doesn't show. So you've got to go a second time. There, here it works. And then it would see it. Okay, now I press need. So do you need? So for a child that is just starting out, starting to talk, I think this might be, it's either confusing, or it might be for a child that is already, you know, more verbal, more advanced. Matthew has just started learning to read and write. He started talking at just about 6 years old, and he's 7 now. So I think the problem may be that he is, this might be, it is very visual, and he's using lots of more words. I mean, that I can say, even without the app, and he's just been using the core board, but he doesn't seem interested in this. That's the bottom line, really, and I'm not sure why, because he can't communicate to me why. But yeah, I think part of the problem is the fact that you've got to double press the picture and then it says the word. Now when you go need to, okay, now it says need to, then you, what it does, it goes back to the need. So now I said need again. So now I'll go and see, I need. Okay, then you've got to choose, what do you need? Say apple. So I pressed A for apple, it doesn't say anything. Let's say fruit. It doesn't say the word. Then if you say apple, it says it. So you've got to go through quite a few, and it took me some time. You've got to go through quite a few processes to say what you want to say. And I think the problem might be for the autistic child is that they feel, this is hard because you've got to go back and forth and get back and forth. And for him, only starting out with AAC apps, I would, in my opinion, if it was my child, and that's just my opinion, just my experience, I would not recommend LAMP for somebody who's starting out. I'll definitely start with Prologue to go. It's simple. It really represents the symbols and there's some pictures, but anyway, this is how I even try to do familiar things. Like I said, let's go to menu. Okay, so you see menu here, edit page. So menu, let's see, import. Okay, import copy pages. Okay, now I sort of worked out how to, let's see, edit, delete this page. No. Okay, yeah, I think this is the one that I started. Let's see. Yeah, no, I can't even. When I was at the speech therapist the other day, she sort of showed me how to add new words, which I did do. I'm just trying to get back into that menu. It just says, no, it says add new page. I don't want to, trying to think. Yeah, okay, done. Let's see again. Help, edit, print abbreviations, edit page. I just want to see where we get at. Yeah, it doesn't show the same thing. She went into a menu, put it to you that way, and I was able to add another name. Now I had to, in other words, if I asked him whether he wanted to watch PJ Masks, but I'll try and ask the speech therapist again how to add new names. Actually, I had training on Prologue to go, TouchChat, and LAMP, and I have a feeling the speech therapist favors LAMP, but I'm not sure why, because she showed me a lot more on LAMP than what she did on the other apps. I didn't ask her why. She's an excellent speech therapist, I must tell you that. But I think we all have our different preferences. But what I'm saying to you is, with your child, when you trial the AAC apps, and it's a good thing to have, you've got to find the one that's going to benefit your child and going to encourage them to talk and to communicate, not going to frustrate and discourage them. This is what I'm trying to prevent. So yes, I would say LAMP AAC app to start out with it wasn't for Matthew. It wasn't a good fit, because he's never been exposed to the AAC system except for the core board that he had, and he had that for about 2 years, so he's had a long time to get used to it. But these apps that he's trialed from school, he's only been able to do for the last 6 weeks, and all 3 to be done is quite a lot to ask of him. But I am trying my best, because I want to encourage him. I want to do what's best for him. And yes, so that's my take on LAMP with Matthew specifically. But if I can figure out today, later on, I just don't have time. I've got to get my kids to school, Matthew included. He's got hydrotherapy today, and then I'll be able to add it and see and spend more time. I've spent some time on this app. I've read through the notes, and yes, it's complicated to me, and I'm not even on the spectrum, so I can't imagine how it must feel for Matthew. But yes, it's an individual thing, but I just want to let you guys know how we found this app, and yes, and why I think it might be putting Matthew off. Like I said, is because you have to press, you have to go back and forth before you actually get to say what you want to say. And I think in on his age at 7 it might be confusing. He has just started talking, and the prologue to go definitely was easier to manage and to operate. And I have a very good idea that is why he was willing to do it, and why he was very eager to work with prologue to go, is because he understood it and it was easy to navigate. That is just my take on it. Thank you for listening, and I'll make another video soon. Bye bye.